Assalamualaikum. My name is LUQMAN HAQIM bin SABRI and my metric number is A20A1433. I will present about the data descriptor which is same about the data descriptive. Data descriptive can be described as the characteristic of a data set. Descriptive statistic consists of two basic categories of measures, which is measure of central tendency and measure of variability. Descriptive are tabular, graphical and numerical summaries of data. The purpose of data descriptive is to facilitate the presentation and interpretation of data. This data is helped in describe and understand the features of a specific data set by giving short summaries about the sample and measures of the data. People use data descriptive to repurpose hard to understand quantitative insights across a large data set into big size descriptive. Then I will explain about the table descriptive and summary statistic. The table content has variable name, for example, the species, name of fish, price of each fish, and place where the fishes are captured. Then we will move to the measurement. For example, for the measurement is nominal and ratio. Then lastly is analysis conducted, which is content about the summary statistic, graphical presentation, numerical descriptive measures, statistical analysis using software and theoretical modeling. The source is from the Department of Statistics, Malaysia. From the table shows that the descriptive variable value for species, price, place, width, length 1, length 2, length 3, height, and width based on the data population. This variable has been set to organize the data from the Department of Statistics, Malaysia. In the sample data, the field species with the corresponding same of sample size, which are brim 35, code 6, brush 38, pipe 17, rush 20, smet 14, stingray 29. The size for the field price are 62 for RM0 to RM 199 and 99 cent, 38 for RM 200, RM 399 and 99 cent, 18 for RM 400 to RM 599 and 99 cent, 21 for RM 600 to RM 799 and 99 cent, and 20 for RM 800 to RM 999 and 99 cent. Then we move to the size for the field place, where the fishes captured are Britain, which is 9, Canada 33, France 20, Ireland 8, Malaysia 11, Norway 15, Singapore 18, Turkey 12, USA 25, Vietnam 8. For the field of width of fish, the size for 0 to 330 grams are 90, 331 to 661 grams are 30, 662 to 992 grams are 27, 993 to 1323 grams are 9, and 1324 to 1654 grams are 3.
Hi, my name is FATIN ELYSA. Metric number is A20A1344. I'm going to explain point 3.0 numerical descriptive measure. 3.1 Measure of central tendency. A measure of central tendency is a value that represents the center of a distribution. Three most commonly used to measure of tendency for ungrouped and grouped data are: first one is mean, second one is median, the third one is mode. Mean is sum of a data entry divided by the number of entries. From the data mean for sample is approximated by midpoint of class, frequencies of class, number of entries in sample. Next, median. Median is the value that lies in the middle of the data when the data set is ordered. From the data, median can be calculated using the following formula, where lower class boundary of median class, frequencies of the median class, cumulative frequency before median class, class size or class width. And the last one is mode. Mode is the data entry that occurs with the greatest frequency. From the data, mode can be calculated using the following formula, where lower class boundary of the model class, the difference between frequency of model class and the frequency of the class before model class, the difference between frequency of model class and the frequency of the class after model class, and the last one is class size or class width. For this assignment, our group has chosen two variables from the data selected that has been given, which is weight and prices. As you can see in the column, that has been shown. It concludes class interval, frequency, relative frequency, cumulative frequency for weight and price. Mean for weight calculated using mean formula is 336.42, while mean for price calculated using mean formula is 360.44. Next is median. Median for weight calculated using median formula is 229.473. Median for prices calculated using median formula is 188.7. The last is mode. Mode for weight calculated using mode formula is 116.667, and mode for prices calculated using mode formula is 112.84.
Next point is 3.2, the measures of position. To determine the measurement of position, the data must be sorted from lowest to highest. The different measures of position are quartiles, deciles, and percentiles. Quartiles is one of 3 points that divide a dataset into 4 equal groups. The difference between the upper and lower quartiles is called interquartile range. By using Excel software, we generate quartiles 1 and quartiles 3 for the ungrouped data. So the result is, for quartile 1, species and place is 3. For quartile 3, species is 6, place is 7. For interquartile range, for ungrouped data, species is 3, place is 4. Next, for grouped data, interquartile range for weight is 408.51. Interquartile range for grouped data for length 1 is 13.79. Interquartile range for length 2 is 16.39. And interquartile range for price is 425.02. 3.3. Measure of variation. A measure of central tendency is some parameters attempt to describe the amount of variation between random variables. 3 parameters that are used to quantify the amount of variation in a set of random variables is range, variance, and standard deviation. Range of a data is the difference between the maximum and minimum data entries in the set. From the data, we can calculate range by using the following formula. Range, which is maximum data entry minus minimum data entry. And from the data, we can calculate variance, range, standard deviation by using following formula. As we can see in the column, the first column is range. Range for weight calculated using range formula is 274. Range for prices is 158. The second column is sample variation. Sample variation for weight calculated using sample variation formula is 1,568,444.62. Sample variation for prices is 1,085,240.04. The third column is sample standard deviation. Sample standard deviation for weight calculated using formula is 1,252.38. Sample standard deviation for price is 1,041.75. Shape of distribution for weight and price is screwed to the right because the mean is greater than median is greater than mode. That's all for me. Thank you.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Natasha binti Abdul Wahab. My matrix number is A281632. Today I will explain about the graphical representation. For the object graph, based on the graph above, there's rapid growth at the starting point of the graph. This is because the low weight of fish is easy to capture compared to the fish with higher weight. Generally, the quantity of fish with high weight is not too much. For the histogram graph, based on the graph above, the prices between 6.89 to 164.89 have the highest frequency compared to the price between 801.80 to 959.89, which have the lowest frequency.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is MUKHLISAH ZAMRI and my tick number 820-81591. Normally descriptive measure of price. 1 manual 360.44, XPSS 307.59, median 188.7, SPSS 211.17. 3. Mood 112.84, SPSS 4. Quartile 1 Manual 98.12, SPSS 57.45. Quartile 3 Manual 523.14, SPSS 522.81. Range Manual 425.02, SPSS 990. And Standard Deviation 1041.75, SPSS 220.25. Variance Manual 1,085,240.04, SPSS 82,245.03.
Assalamualaikum. I'm TENGKU Sharifah NORMADIHA binti AZAHA. My metric number is A20A2033. I will present about hypothesis testing and the confidence interval. Firstly, one sample test. I choose 2 variables out 9 variables. It is price and weight. The degree of freedom is the same and unchanged. It is 59, while the test for price is 8.209. The mean difference is 307.587 and the confidence interval for the lower difference is 32.61 and above 382.57. The test for weight was 7.440. The mean difference was 337.458 and the lower difference confidence interval was 246.70 and the upper was 428.21. Now I will present about ANOVA. Place has been selected as a factor. The p-value from the ANOVA table has less than 0.001, which means that one or more than one variables, which is weight, length 1, length 2, length 3, height, width, species and price. Last but not least, I will present a confidence interval. So 9 of the variables I choose length 1 to describe. For length 1, the mean is 24.72, while the difference between the upper and lower limits is 5.61, which is the internal confidence for the mean of the lower and upper limits is 21.93 and 27.54.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NURUL Syafiqah Natasha binti ZAINUDIN. My metric number is A20A1892. So I will present about the theoretical modeling. So first is metric plot based on the graph, which is the metric plot involving price, weight, length 1, length 2, length 3, height, width, species and place. Among the independent variable, there is a high level association between species and place. So we're moving on the next part. I will explaining about correlation. According to table, the value of R show that there is a perfect correlation R equal to 1 between price and price, weight and weight, and also length 1 and length 1. On the contrary, the value of R between price and weight is 0.973. Next, the value of R shows a significant correlation between price and length 1 is 0.972. And lastly, the value of R between weight and length 1 is 0.975. All of this value are lesser than 1. Thus, we can conclude that there is little or no correlation between the 3 variables. So for the second is model summary. There is R square value is 0.99, which means 99.2% of the variation in price can be explained by weight, length 1, length 2, length 3, height, width, species and place. The exact R square is 99.1% or 0.991. Next one is the value of ANOVA. The p-value from the ANOVA table is 0.60, which means that all the list one of the 8 variables, which is weight, length 1, length 2, length 3, width, species and place, can be used to model price. So lastly, I will show the equation of coefficient. The equation is price equal to negative 52.067 plus 0.542 minus 6.445 minus 0.565 minus 4.792 plus 6.446 plus 17.027 plus 36.532 plus 46.814. For every unit increase in weight, Price expected to increase by 0.542. Next, the confidence interval for B, which is lower and upper bound for weight, is 0.394 and 0.689, and lengthwise is -17.631 and -4.721. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is ATIKAH binti KAMARUDDIN and my matricate number is A20A2212. I will present the last part, which is concluding remarks. The methods that have been used in the calculation of data values of descriptive variables for species, price, place, weight, length 1, length 2, length 3, height, and weight based on the data population in Malaysia is: first, in compiling a given data, the frequency distribution is used to calculate the number of classes, class interval or weight, and class limit. Then, numerical descriptive measurement is using two calculations, namely manual and using SPSS. The result between manual and SPSS not same because SPSS cannot read and analyze the data accurately. Next, about the theoretical and regression model that shows how to explain the relationships within it. The use of graph, on the other hand, is highlighted in thought and pattern models where it shows a graphically confusing appearance and the ways a multivariable model will be used to control for confusion and the appearance of graphically confusing interaction. So, regression models can test and estimate this interaction. Lastly, the form of distribution where it can be divided into two types, namely symmetric and non-symmetric. What can be seen is statistics is a very important thing that is closely related in life. Therefore, understanding in all aspects as discussed is very important for a person. I think that's all from me. Thank you.